Okay, so I'm in this super boring game of Clash. I don't know, wasn't paying attention. Then boom! It was like a sweat series where everyone's a tryhard. This one dude's all, Stormcaller sucks, so I shot him. Then I shot this other one. Shot a couple extra guys just to be safe. I did a lot of shooting, if I'm being totally honest. And they're ruining my favorite map. Second favorite, there's Rusted Lands. I'm getting sidetracked. Look, long story short, I get busy. And I'm thinking, I've got this, you know? When you're in that, you go, I've got this. But man, I so did not have it.
Okay, Bonesy. That's great, but can we do the show now?
Guess you had to be there.
Bones. Any day now.
Jeez, the guy does one Crucible match. I'm coming.
Oh my God, guys. This week. Oh my God.
I don't have words for it. I know, like, it's just gonna be a lot of this the entire podcast.
Bungie, if you're listening to this, and I know you are, you listen to every episode. Hi, guys. I don't think they actually do.
They play it on the Bungie speakers at work on Mondays.
Everyone into the conference room. Could you space this stuff out a bit more? We got Age of Triumph drop this week. We got all this Destiny 2 hype. It's okay. Sorry, get ahead of myself. Bonesy, how you doing?
Oh, I am doing absolutely fantastic. How are you doing, Swain?
There's no words for
Struggling
it.
to form words.
I really don't have words for this week. It has been amazing. Birds, how are you?
Oh man, I am happy, and I'm back, baby. I'm back.
He's back.
What?
Yep.
Tune in next week
man.
when Birds isn't here again.
No, man, I'm gonna try, man. I'm trying to make it
He's
happen.
already finding his exit door right now.
It's tough, man. I need one of those suitcases that's full of foam that's cut out perfectly that you put your microphone or your sniper rifle in so I can travel with this rig.
Do you guys remember that one YouTube comment that was like, hey, Crucible Radio, good stuff. Really like them. Swain and Birds are great, but I hate bones. They just singled me out. And I'm just like, how do you like one of us specifically? I feel like there's that person out there that exists for all three of us. And the one that hates birds has just been so happy for a couple of weeks. Yeah, that's Swain and Bones.
Just think of people. I'd totally ship Swain. That's who I love on this podcast. A Swainless week is not for me. That's just Kelly. Kelly's the only one.
Love it. I have to say I appreciate that YouTube commenter more than the one who can't pick a favorite because he can't tell any of our voices apart.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a little weird. We got.
It's really easy.
Voices.
I'm Bones.
And I'm Swain.
Well, I guess I'm still Birds.
Yeah,
you can tell I'm Birds because I kind of go by like this at the end of sentences.
It's the voice you didn't hear last week.
Yeah, noted by its absence.
There you go.
All right, bros. Let's get into this.
You just call us bros?
Yeah.
Continue.
Is that not working anymore?
He leaves for one week and he comes back chugging Twisted Tea and calling us bro.
Stay twisted. I don't stay twisted.
I've never been twisted before in my life. All right, we're clearly giddy because
okay, we are so excited.
Destiny 2.
Can I talk about this for a second? We went into this week just not thinking anything was going to happen. Really, we were just all right, cool. They were teasing a little bit about Destiny 2 last week. We had the leaks happen Thursday when we were recording right before. Just a little bit of a teaser for the poster that might be coming. Or I was oh, well, we're probably going to have to wait till E3, which is in June for more info on Destiny 2. And nope, this week, all of it just dropped out of nowhere.
I mean, and like, it makes me realize, like, hey, we saw that really cool Rise of Iron poster, and that was a cool way to find out about Rise of Iron. But it's tough to beat like 2 extremely high quality, just like funny, enjoyable trailers. Like, what a way to throw you in the deep end. Nathan Fillion, man, just like, I hope they've got him locked in for the next 10 years. 'Cause he represents everything I like about this game. Don't take it too serious, you dumb. Shoot people. It's fun.
Yep.
So we found out some like basic stuff in the trailers. Like, okay, Cabal show up, tower got destroyed, we're on the run, whatever, rally and all that. But like, you notice that there's a lot of stuff in there that kind of implies some stuff. Like, I noticed, I mean, this is obvious, but like in the second trailer, Kate is talking about how all of our gear got blown up, all of his gear got blown up, and it's like, this is how they established the plot to explain why our vaults don't carry over. They got blown up.
Yeah, all the stuff, all the things you collected, they're blown up.
And especially my stuff.
My stuff. The other thing being like hints at the lore a little bit, not so much, just like kind of like a story hint here and there. And those big Cabal doggos.
The Caballos. Cabala doggos.
That apparently means horse in another language. I was told that today on Twitter.
So they're
we're
kind of horses.
The not actual name for them.
The equestrian cabal.
No, it all looks really cool. And it's so well done. It's so beautiful. All of it. It's funny. It's serious. It hits all of the notes that I love Destiny for. Like
you notice, and just like for me, it was literally like the first frame of the Cade in the Bar trailer. Just seeing that first frame,
like the how like the twang.
Yeah, you got the blues music, but like just seeing like how beautifully it's rendered, and like he's pouring the drink, and it's just like, it doesn't feel like a video game. It doesn't feel like a video game promo. This feels like a movie. Like, if this is anything what we might expect to have in store for Destiny 2, like, oh my God, I'm so in.
Like, if we get 30 minutes of cutscenes or whatnot out of like this next iteration of Destiny, I will not regret a single penny of my investment into Sterling Treasure.
Yeah, right.
Like, I know that went towards paying Nathan Fillion to be around all the time. By all means.
There's a lot to notice, both in the trailer, but also in just the descriptions that have come with all the pre-order stuff like that. And I'm just like in a full-on lore freak out for the past week. And this all ties into the Age of Triumph lore that has been easily the best dump of lore. Like, I always, I hit the good ones and I read the Thorn and Last Word and stuff, but I just felt like everything, the 6 or 7 cards that came out were just so satisfying, because they were like also tying up storylines.
Yep.
And really hinting at the sequel. And I mean, if you read the game description on Amazon and stuff, it really kind of talks about how this attack from the Red Guard, I believe, is a direct attack on the city, but also it looks like on the Traveler. And it looks like, I mean, could be wrong, who knows, but it really seems like they just did a magic EMP that, and like all of our powers are gone. So when they say stuff like explore new territories to look for new powers, that got me so excited, because it sounds like we could have some more of an adventure of like, how do we find our subclasses, and in a cooler word to say than subclass, like ourselves or our abilities or our powers, that sort of thing. And like, how great was the quest to get your Stormcaller and Sunbreaker and Nightstalker? Like, we talked about that as probably the highlight of year 2. And to have that just be the game and stretch that out a little bit sounds absolutely incredible, as opposed to just like, I am alive now, and you ran 200 feet and now you get a grenade, and you killed a Dreg, now you get a melee ability. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how we go from not just, hey, you don't have your last word anymore, but you have nothing, and you get to sort of rebuild both yourself and maybe the city.
And
I'm
they're
freaking out.
leaving it open like for those legacy items like the last word, Mida, all the stuff that everybody loves to be like, hey, you're in the last city exploring some, debris or whatnot, and you come across like remnants of a last word and you go about rebuilding it into this new version of the last word. Who knows? That's great.
Yeah.
Like there's so many possibilities here. And they also released that they're doing expansions again, kind of similar to how when we first heard of Destiny 1, you heard about, the Dark Below and House of Wolves. Like you bought the game, you got the 2 expansion pack, and you were just guaranteed that content when it came out. They're already doing that again for 2 pieces of content, something with Osiris, and it looks like something with the War Mines as well. So that's got me all sorts of excited and the wheels turning on the inside. Like, what could this possibly be? Like,
yeah. Swain, we should talk about the 2 theories for both of those expansions. They're fairly brief because you had one about Osiris and I had one about the War Mind and how that might tie in.
So I've said it before on like Twitter and stuff, but I don't want to be into this expansion still proving myself to Osiris. It's been years. Like we've been doing the trials of Osiris for so long. So many of us have gotten to the lighthouse. There's no one there, by the way, if you haven't been. And it's just all this, like, there's so much lore about Osiris and how he was exiled from the tower for doing things that they didn't approve of. But originally he was essentially going to be the successor to the speaker. Like he was lined up. And then he got exiled and he started going off into his whole thing. My theory is the tower gets destroyed, obviously, but so does the speaker. And we're left without a leader, like a very focal point, like the relationship to the traveler. We don't have anyone in line because after Osiris was exiled, there wasn't anybody there. And I think we go and get Osiris and bring him to the city and coax him into being the leader. I do think that also will lead into bringing back other characters that have gone, not necessarily missing, but have gone into hiding or disappeared. So it gives all these possibilities for like characters to show up out of nowhere and add more lore and add more, content, baby.
And I want the players to have a stake and to say, like, if we do run into an old ally, they are not just here to go like, please go kill those fallen over there and I'll talk to you in your headset while you do it. Like, I want to see they've been established. We know who they are. We want to see the personalities and stuff. So it'll be so cool if they can say like, oh, I'm fighting this thing not because it's just an angry alien, but because someone, put this on us or tried to, in the fallout of the city, they reacted a certain way. I don't know, man, what's happening at the reef, that kind of thing. And to have those sort of characters kind of play against each other or with each other again. But my theory on the other expansion, as it had the little logo that you see on Rasputin and the Sleeper Simulant, and a lot of people just call that Rasputin's logo, and I think there is text to suggest it is, but there's nothing to say that it's not the general logo for a War Mind. Like we don't know if it's just only Rasputin's, but we do know that there are other War Minds out there. One of them named Charlemagne. And a long time ago in the development stage of Destiny, it was rumored that Charlemagne's vault was supposed to be a raid in year 1. And it has to do with the Cabal because I believe Charlemagne is on Mars. And I don't want to say that for sure.
Yes.
But that War Mind is basically the Cabal's little interest. And we sort of fuck around with Rasputin back on Earth. And if this is a Cabal expansion and Destiny 2 starts off with being attacked by the Red Guard, it is possible that we're talking about a different War Mind. So I'm freaking excited. And my predictions have been fairly on point in my musings. So
track record, your fan fiction track record is pretty solid.
I felt so dumb because I was like, oh yeah, the towers fall. It's like it gets destroyed. Like I kind of called it. There's clear differences and stuff, but I had like this chapter 2 all lined up that I had a paragraph typed and I had all these ideas for side quests. And now I'm just like, stealing all my stuff. I had these ideas, I swear, but I got a new idea coming. It's gonna be cool.
Well, we are the podcast for Destiny PvP, all things Destiny PvP.
All of them.
So we should probably start talking about that. We're done with the lore for now, and what Destiny 2 might bring us on that end, the PvE, all that. We should start talking about the repercussions of that will happen for the Crucible. Like, there's going to be a Crucible. Shax is in the trailer.
Shaq's confirmed.
Shax is confirmed. He's still alive. He didn't get blown up. So I'm assuming the Crucible will be around in some form. They did also have in that thing that Bones was talking about, competitive Destiny PvP in the description. So, like I said, I would love for Trials to be gone, but it needs a replacement. It needs that, carrot on the stick for those people that are playing PvP. And I would love for a ranked playlist to be in there, something of that nature, something proving grounds of some sort, where Shax is trying to, like, they could even throw the lore on it and be like, Shax is trying to find the best of the best. Prove yourself in ranked playlists. Who knows? But I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for something for to appease the masses.
The PvP landscape has been Crucible, which is in terms of lore, and they always try to tie it with canon. There's nothing that just happens because it's a video game. There's an explanation, even if it's sort of retroactively done. But you need an explanation for all the activity. So you have Iron Banner because Saladin, has his sort of a rivalry with Shax. Actually, that's why that's separate. Then you have Trials of Osiris, like you said. But those characters, and even Saladin has such a huge stake now. So are we going to just do Iron Banner more? Or how will that change? Is it necessary? Like, if we're all just going, fuck, the city's on fire. We do need to train, but like, should we really just do like an Iron Banner week? Or should we like maybe focus on something a little more serious?
Yeah, maybe the city's on fire, but we're all going to go over here and fight each other for a week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if those sort of weekly and monthly events change at all. But yeah, I'd love to see Shax kind of have an input on some of that. I want all the characters to just do and say more.
I mean, that was my favorite thing to see sort of in the development of Destiny, where it's like, hey, we actually get cutscenes now where they interact with each other and we get to hear their banter.
Yeah.
More of that.
The biggest thing, the biggest thing that happened the past few days with this release was the confirmation that Destiny 2 will be on PC.
Oh, man.
Essentially doubling the amount of people that play this game. There's already a lot of people that play this game, and when it's at its height, it is a ton more than that.
Obviously, much bigger player base, a lot more, everyone who likes playing video games one way or another is going to be able to get in on Destiny now. But this is such a huge move because consoles and PC games just play so different. Like, there's obviously, when it comes to first-person shooters, there's a much more intensive competitive scene. Not to say that there is an intensive console competitive scene, but it's just a completely different community. Mouse and keyboard is such a different way of interacting with the game. And I kind of wonder how that's going to play out. I mean, you think, going back to our first John Wisniewski interview, where he talks about like the feeling that you get from aim assist, where you snap around 180 degrees and land a headshot and it just clicks and you do that. How do you do that with mouse and keyboard? It's totally different. And you can look at a game like Overwatch, where they have effectively kind of different versions of the game. They keep some things.
The meta is even different in the two.
Yeah, the meta is different. You have aim assist on consoles. You don't have it on PC. So you kind of wonder, like, right now, PS4 is the spot for competitive Destiny. Is that going to move to PC? What happens to everyone who's built up all of their Destiny mechanical skills on a controller? Are they going to feel obligated to go to PC? Is that where the tournaments are? And then you have the whole other side of PC games, which is you have hacking on PC and you have people running all sorts of stuff in the background. That thankfully is not an issue on console. I don't have to worry about those wall hacks. This changes. Yeah, this is going to potentially change everything.
Definitely some potential cons to having a PC version. but the pros for this far outweigh it. Like, if there is something in place so that competitive Destiny can thrive, I think the existence of a PS4 player base and a Xbox player base, all this competitive stuff that we built up already, will still be there, and it'll still have a place, and it'll probably be amplified by the fact that PC will exist. It'll be like a sister or a brother to what we currently have. And, you know, the big companies love putting money into the PC esports world, but there will only be positives coming out of the fact that there will be a Destiny like esports world. Like, that would be amazing if we can have that. And I think it relies on a lot of like trust in Bungie's ability to balance going forward, in their ability to, you know, handle reports of cheating, reports of all of those problems. But it takes a little bit of trust, and I sure as hell have the trust in them.
All right, I got two more things to say here. One thing I kind of worry about is just like difference in graphics, because on console, like, okay, you've got PS4 and PS4 Pro, and Pro can do cooler stuff, but everyone pretty much has the same experience. It would kill me to be like, yeah, if you want to see the real graphics, if you want to see just how beautiful this game is, you need to have dual graphics cards, water cooled like PC. Like, not that I have anything against that, just that I kind of like the idea that, you know, sort of everyone's on a level playing ground with console. But I guess the second thing is, let me ask you guys this, because I know my answer. You guys gonna hop on Destiny PC?
My answer to that is that if the competitive scene goes there, I have no expectations of myself to suddenly compete on a mouse and keyboard. Maybe I'll practice on Overwatch this summer or something, but I want to know what it's like and what it feels like. I want to be able to have that knowledge, so when we talk on this show and compare those differences, that it's a visceral thing for me and not just like a patch notes comparison to say, well, that's probably why they did this on PC. So I have every intention of making sure I'm fully aware of how it feels, how it plays, and especially if the scene starts moving around and PC players want to compete, or if PS4 players feel like they need to go on PCs and compete there. I want to know what that's like, so that I could just keep that full understanding of the game and the competitive scene. So I could end up there.
So my answer is very similar. I will be over there on PC. I'll be on Xbox, PC, and PS4. It will be quite the feat.
You got a lot of grind, buddy.
Hunter Xbox and Titan on PS4.
But
there you go.
The thing is, we're all about improvement here. Obviously, we get off track. We talk about lore every once in a while, but the core of the show has always been improving, and our personal improvement at the center of it. And I just see my inabilities with PC as another thing for me to improve. My ability to use mouse and keyboard, my ability to those like flick shots. There's a whole world of it, but I want this podcast to be welcoming to PC users, all those new people that would tune in and find out what Destiny's about, get the weekly update on Crucible metas and everything. I want this to be a home for not only the experienced PC players, but also those of you out there right now that also want to learn how to use a mouse and keyboard and get good with it. Who knows? I could probably, like, what if I'm a god on mouse and keyboard for Destiny? Like, what if I'm way better than I am on console?
You are the chosen one.
I don't know. There's only one way to find out, and that would be to try. And
is it possible to learn these abilities? Not on a console.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm going to put the hours in. I'm going to give it a try. And to get us started there, we have an upcoming guest that we are going to have talk about the transition from a controller to a mouse and keyboard, and what, like, sort of tips, tricks, accessories, all that for PC gaming. And that's Dr. Lupo. He will be on.
Hey, Dr. Loop.
With us 2 weeks from now. to talk PC gaming and a transition into PC gaming if that's something you're interested in.
Yep. The last thing I'll say about PC that I'm very interested to see play out is that, yeah, it's a mechanical thing. It's a physical thing. Are current players going to be good on a mouse and keyboard? Do they need to be? Will they have to go there? Where will the competitive scene go, and what will the established players do? The other thing is there will be new players playing this game, and not just newbies who are like, what's Destiny? How do I rank up to level 40? What's light level? Guys like Nadeshot are going to be playing Destiny, and some huge streamers and some very competitive PC players who are just talented, and they pick up a game and they figured out how to be the best pretty quickly. That's going to happen. So there's going to be a new set of contenders, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out. Will there just be a different crowd? Are we going to watch a PC tournament, or will, God Squad and BSK and I Am and Primal think we got to go show ourselves on that console, just like God Squad once did on Xbox, and realized, hey, I hear about this Lumi character. Let's go see if we can hang with him. We'll get some accounts and play on PS4. These guys are going to want to beat each other, and it's going to be really intense if they ever square off. So that's what I'm really most curious about right now.
So obviously we'll have all those names and those great competitions coming to us in Destiny 2, but we didn't ask Birds. Birds, are you going to play on PC?
Good question. I don't know. I would like to. Honestly, I wonder where I would put a gaming PC. Like, I've got using laptops for so long. Like, I don't know, where am I stick a tower? I'm probably going to take the plunge. But I think there's one thing I know for sure, that I would like to play Destiny on PC. There's a ton of PC only games that I've not really been able to play because they're on PC that I'll have access to. But I think for me, I kind of know myself, like, gaming for me is got a place in my life where it's just kind of the way I burn off steam, the way I relax. And PS4 just kind of feels like home. Like, I don't have any extreme allegiance to Sony, but that's just where I feel cozy. I like the way it feels. I like the games.
Sure.
So I think that's going to stay my home base no matter what.
Oh, for sure. I'll be mostly playing on PS4 because if a lot of people, the really good players, go to PC, I will be so good on PS4.
Yes, big fish, small pond. That's how we do.
Know what I would love to see from this? Me kind of wish listing something going forward. And it's definitely a content creator's problem. But if they linked, you just had one Bungie account and it went across all of your, if it was on Xbox, if it was on PlayStation, or PC, I would so easily be able to have 3 characters, all the stuff, and be able to do it on the different consoles would be amazing.
First world problems.
Yeah, right?
It takes a long time to level up those subclasses, man. That's a lot of experience. People, you forget about it.
Yes.
All right, guys, we got a lot of stuff to get through tonight. Oh, my God. So, timeline coming up. You can now pre-order Destiny. Hey, at a minimum, you should probably get the deluxe digital version of it so you can get access to the Destiny 2 beta. I didn't come into Destiny until the Dark Blow. I'd played every other PlayStation game, but I just didn't get around to it. And I always felt kind of sad that I never got to see that first iteration of Destiny, the first iteration of the Crucible, and even the pre-first version of that. I'm not going to be missing out on this beta. I mean, who listens to the show who doesn't want to hop on that Destiny 2 beta?
I'm already hopped onto it. I picked up the collector's edition at GameStop today, and it came with the code. Went home, put it in, and got the confirmation. I will be beta-ing up. Please, Bungie, do not make it a Guardian Con weekend. That would break everyone's heart.
They know.
They do. Yeah, we got lots of stuff coming up.
Gameplay.
May
18th.
May 18th. We've got the beta. We've got probably a ton of reveal streams. We got E3 coming. I'm sure there'll be a place to play it at E3. They got a pretty big booth this year. So the hype train, it's leaving the station. Everyone, pick up your tickets.
Get on board.
Get on board and be ready.
I love how we had like the perfect transition from end of Age of Triumph hype leading up to release this week and straight into Destiny 2 hype. No breather. But hey, Age of Triumph dropped. We should probably talk about that. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy to be so hyped on two things, but Age of Triumph is the best live event we've ever had. It is so cool. There's so much cool stuff to look at, and I've been playing the dang raid again in Crota's End, and holy crap, that raid has earned its place amongst the others, I think, after the changes. I've had a great week on Destiny. It's been incredibly fun. What about you guys?
I mean, I was right there with you.
First thing I noticed, playing Combined Arms, the weekly, which, by the way, ton of marks.
I'm just thinking of the guy with all the limes, but marks. How do I hold all these marks?
Well, you spend them on all the new rolls dropping each week. We'll get to that. But anyways, hopped into Combined Arms to get some more marks so I can get some new stuff. And oh my God, I got shot by the new Fang of Ur-Ute so many times. Like, maybe this is just a big map Combined Arms thing, but I swear every match I went into had at least one or two decent players rocking either the Fang of Ur-Ute or the Fang of Ur-Ute Adept. Oh my God, a bug just flew in my face. Oh, spooky.
The Hive.
Yeah, so you guys made it through Crota. You got some of the drops. Have you had a chance to try out these new raid weapons?
Yeah, I've been using them. They're all right. They kind of do their thing. They're a little specific for Hive. The one that I do love, the Fang of Ur-Ute. It was a favorite scout rifle of mine back in year one. So that's the only adept one I didn't get, but I leveled up my normal legendary version. I am so much more focused on the armor. I just love the way those ornaments look. Everything is so cool, and the next 3 months or so are dedicated to making my Guardians look as cool as freaking possible.
I did find one that I liked, and that was the Abyss Defiant. We will get into that a little bit later, but there's definitely some stuff in there. I'm mostly focusing on, like Bones said, knocking out all the stuff, finishing up Crota. It's so weird to be up until like 4 a.m. again and just really tired the next day. I was up raiding at Crota's End. The nostalgia even extends to being exhausted.
Shout out to Age of Triumph for getting me to play early game story missions again. Going back down that road again, but there you go.
Yeah, the real incentive with 20 marks per story.
Well, you got to do it for the first step of the quest. Have you guys made it down the Age of Triumph quest yet? I'm like at the patrol stage. And
I got
step
to
2.
the Crucible stage where you have to do 2 bounties from Shacks. Finished up 1 last night. Still got to do the Supremacy 1. But I think there's only 1 more step after that. So I'm almost done.
And you get those class items from the speaker that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the reward. I feel like that, I mean, it would have been nice to get a little something else, but looking fresh is definitely worth it.
The one thing I want to just get out of our systems before we talk about Sandbox and stuff is that Age of Triumph did drop more Grimoire, and I mentioned that at the beginning, and these were some of my favorites because there's a few things that I find really important that everyone needs to know, especially if you're listening to a Destiny specific podcast this late in the game. There's a few things that they set up that I found fascinating. One, we had a conclusion to this Rezel Azir character that's been doing some kind of weird stuff. People thought maybe there was an ARG going on. The way the ghosts popped up, and this was sort of the conclusion. As it turns out, there's this tale about Rezel Azir getting focused down by this big knight, and then a witch, a wizard, or from the Hive behind the knight, which turns out to be Zior, which you fight in the Thorn quest. That is because Rezel Azir uses Rose, but when he walks out of this Hive thing, he puts Bone on it, and we sort of realize that becomes Thorn, and that Rezel Azir, this Titan we've been hearing about, basically switches characteristics, starts becoming similar to a hunter, and becomes Dragon Yor, or Dreadin. I'm not going to try to say these words. But yeah, from the famed Yor of the Thorn versus the Last Word, who is killed by Shin Malphur, who uses possibly the first golden gun. I think like watching the Reddit threads explode and people are just like, oh my God, that's what it was just like the best part of me sitting at work and not being able to play Age of Triumph all day. But man, the other two ones that were just so cool. And there's some stuff about Shaxx that was very fun to read. But one, Eris Morn seems to be leaving.
Yeah, she's getting ahead of the tower blowing up.
She kind of knows something bad is coming, and she says that in her dumb, weird, vague way where she's like, danger. And you're just like, wait, do you know, or what's the deal? And we don't know her relationship with the queen. So that was really weird. She sort of says goodbye to this warlock in a med bay that has a Vex arm. And that was like, what? And then the third thing that I find really interesting and could have an impact on the sequel is that Uldren, the prince from the Reef and the leader of the Crows, everyone's been wondering, like, what happened? There's that big explosion. The queen's ship blew up. Where's she? Where's the prince? Well, he's been captured by Fallen, but he thinks he's going to maybe influence them. He's been purposefully staying captive and unfound by either guardians or people from the Reef. And he wants to basically influence a Kell and possibly recruit the Fallen for something, which I find very, very, very interesting. But all of that was just sort of this fun way to kick us towards Destiny 2 and wrap up some of these legends and tales we've been hearing about for 3 years now, which is crazy. So that was honestly one of my favorite parts of Age of Triumph. And I hope all of you go in and read that and find it on the Ishtar Collective. They've got the whole page.
So, of course, our sponsor this week is HelloFresh, and we got to thank them for helping support the show. Guys, here's what you need to know about HelloFresh. It's a meal kit delivery service that makes cooking fun, easy, and convenient. Each week, they're creating new recipes with step-by-step instructions designed to take around 30 minutes for everyone from novices to seasoned home cooks on short time. Each week, HelloFresh creates new delicious recipes with step-by-step instructions designed to take around 30 minutes for everyone from novices to seasoned home cooks short on time. I tried this out. It was incredible. They give you everything you need. It's all pre-portioned. The recipe was one page. It had pictures. I wasn't flipping back and forth in some cookbook.
Not looking at your phone or something like that. It's all right there.
Like covering my phone with schmutz as I cook. I'm doing it. It's so straightforward, and I've got a bunch of new recipes that I now know how to make, and they're extremely delicious. Big hits at the Birds household.
Yeah, and they currently offer customers a classic box, a veggie box, or a family box. So you have a little bit of options, whether or not you're feeding a family of 4 or just 2 people or someone who's a picky eater.
They've got new recipes coming out every week. They've got 2 full-time registered dietitians on staff who review each recipe to ensure it is nutritionally balanced.
Yeah, so it's not a bunch of butter and heavy cream or whatnot going into your meals every week.
Yeah, no, they're like just straight up delicious, savory meals. And it's so easy to do. It just shows up on your doorstep in a special insulated box for free.
I personally love using HelloFresh, especially as a chef, because the thing people don't realize at the end of the day is that I don't want to cook that much when I get home. I want to have it all done for me. I want to have it there ready to go. And HelloFresh puts it there. It's like having another employee just do all your meal prep for you. It's amazing. And having HelloFresh to set it up for you every week in whatever options I'm feeling that week is amazing.
So, guys, you got nothing to lose. You're going to love it. Trust us on this. Go check it out.
It's so easy.
It's so easy. You're going to be so proud that you've made these beautiful meals. All you got to do is go to HelloFresh.com for $30 off your first week of deliveries. All you got to do is visit HelloFresh.com and enter offer code Crucible30. That's CRUCIBLE 30 when you subscribe. But hey, we've got Destiny 2 trailers. We've got Age of Triumph goodies. We got this whole new book tour. I kind of like with the book how you open it up and then just immediately see how many things you've already checked off and get a bunch of emblems.
So many.
Whatever that emblem is that's like yellow and purple and orange with the tower in it. My favorite.
Yeah, the 70s style.
Yeah, it just feels like
party tower.
Like a California beach town.
There you go.
But hey, we got a new balance patch too. Granted, little tweaks, not a lot of changes, but we have had a second to test them out. Thoughts?
Good.
Largely good.
End.
Yeah,
of thought.
pretty good.
No, I mean, like they kind of took the stuff that the community was talking about, hit it a little bit here and there. I'm just picturing someone smashing something with a hammer. Anyway, no, they took some things and they tweaked them here and there. Our favorites being the auto load for special ammo. That was something we mentioned here.
Yep.
Some scories changes.
Yeah, I like to think that was me being smart and us being somewhat intelligent about this game. So go us.
Yeah, we're super smart.
Called it. I feel like I did notice the hand cannon change. I'm not saying I dislike it. So this one,
Same.
they pulled in the damage drop off aspect of the range, and that's important to distinguish. Like range has got a bunch of pieces to it. So your aim assist drop off, your stickiness, all of that at range remains untouched. It is just the damage drop off. I feel like I understand this, but it kind of feels like it cemented what the hand cannon change was, which was when you're outside of that optimal range. I mean, it's not a huge deal. I feel like whereas I used to expect one headshot and 2 body shots, now it's a little more consistently 1 headshot, 2 body shots, and then 1 more body shot just to clean it up. Just that three hit going to 4. But definitely not enough to unseat hand cannons as the choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I've done in response to that is consider the map I'm on. There are some maps where I just feel like I'm always in longer engagements. So I was playing Bannerfall and I'm like, you know what? I do want a pulse rifle on this map. But when Cauldron came up and I was really excited to test out that new Vendor Palindrome, I was like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. This gun is perfect for this map.
A new Vendor Palindrome, by the way.
Very nice roll.
Oh, yeah. The reactive reload outlaw combination, like outlaw in general on hand cannons, I know it's not always the best choice of the perk, but it's just like the best quality of life thing for me, especially when you're playing 6s. The reactive reload, I feel like I don't always get it in time, but just having both of those together and not having to dig for it. I do agree about the map choice thing. I said it earlier, but trying to pull out my palindrome on Skyshock, nothing doing, just getting chewed up by the scout rifles, and good. Like that's their map. If there ever was a map for scout rifles.
No, there's lots of good here. Like you said, I don't really feel like the hand cannon change makes me upset.
Destroyed hand cannons made them literally unplayable.
No, like there's been moments where I'm like, come on, hit. And then I have trouble. But I did pull out one of the other guns that kind of got a change to it this week. Oh, I pulled out 2 of them. And that was auto rifles. I tried a lot of auto rifles this week. And I was not impressed with Necrochasm. That one is definitely not too viable. It's fun, getting a kill with one and having an explosion is still it's forever gonna be fun.
What specifically about it wasn't working for you?
It was just taking too long. And it doesn't have the perfect type of balance to it, so you can't stay on target for too long. And by that time, you're already being killed. Or someone is closing the gap on you and killing you with something else.
So to be clear, just in case people didn't read the patch notes or we didn't mention this last week, the only change to auto rifles was the minimum damage at maximum range. So basically a little farther out, you're still going to get that minimum damage. And this is really confusing to say it's increased by minimum damage fall off at 7%. What this means is basically I love Monte Carlo. I think it's really good right now as the best base stats of any auto rifle you can use. If I'm in range with a Monte Carlo, I'm going to do 23 to the head. And when I'm out of range and I'm at that max range, so to speak, It's doing about 18 consistently, which is like a lot less. But I found that I was doing that comfortably at distances where I didn't mind taking those shots. There's sometimes like, I think if you're at a certain point, you're like, why bother? It would take me roughly 3 seconds to kill someone. But 18 to the head at a really comfortable distance made me feel like, ooh, I'm making a safe play here as opposed to just a pointless play. So I thought it let my auto rifle keep me engaged a little bit more, and I didn't have to just get like 20 feet away from everyone for it to be usable, which allowed me to help with team shooting and cleanup shots and sixes.
See, I like that. We talk a lot about using guns in their correct range, and that's always going to be the case. But it's tough when you have something that is just not working outside of the range. So we can have a hand cannon that is not optimal at long ranges, but you can still contribute. It's nice to know that autos fall into that as well. And yeah, second, the full Monty.
It depends on the auto rifle for sure. Like the Necrochasm was not as good at range. Like you couldn't put you can hit 1 or 2 bullets here and there, but the spread was so like not good. it sucked to try and ping someone from range, but I did find that trying to use a something that has like the focus fire perk, like Abyss Defiant. Now that worked for me. I found some pretty good success with trying to ding someone from really far away with basically like a full auto scout rifle at that point.
It really does seem like the sort of mid-impact auto rifles are pretty comfortable if you're going to use them at all. I'm not saying go into trials with the Extremophile and you'll do great, but I think, I don't know, I haven't used the high-impact ones too much. I feel like they throw me off for whatever reason, but unless you have something exotic like a Suros, the mid-rated fire ones do feel good. There's a really good one from New Monarchy, one of those. But yeah, Monte Carlo, that's all you need.
I'm going to give Monte Carlo a shot this week. See how I feel with it.
So the change to sidearms, they finally do not just carry over all their ammo, means their usage has dropped off a little bit. I haven't played Trials yet, so I can't really say if it's just sidearms and Icebreaker. The Trials is always operated on another level than the general Crucible, but in sixes, I have seen quite a variety of special weapons, which is nice. And it seems like that was really what they wanted. And so, of course, this 2.6 is what 2.502 was trying to be. And now we're there, which is good. Strangely enough, I've tried all of them. I've been sniping a decent amount. I recently discovered that I do love Glass Promontory. It's been sitting in my vault for too long. It's really, really good. But the gun I'm using the most to get special kills with are fusion rifles. Because for whatever reason, people are not as close to me, and people do not expect that. And I'm not getting in these as many long standoff engagements because there's just less sniper rifles on the map. And I don't know what it is, but Hitchhiker and the old Vendor Vacancy are just two of my best weapons right now. And fusion rifles seem to have a really good place in this special economy.
No, I totally agree. It's interesting that you go for the slow charging, hard hitting ones. And I think certainly there's a lot of space for them. My preference is still going to be for the faster firing kind of Plan C ones. The go-to for me is still going to be that Pantaray, but there's also a Worlds to Come, sort of same archetype or close enough, that just hits really reliably in that just outside of shotgun range. Maybe I'm sort of using my primary a little bit more at distance and using this as a defensive measure when people get close versus having a hand cannon or an auto for up close and a fusion for the longer range, in which case the higher impact one makes sense. I think the big perk to fusions before the auto load change was that they're pretty quick to reload all the way. But even without that advantage, that's still my go-to. That and sidearms. It's a strange world we're living in, guys, where
weird times.
Sidearms and fusion rifles are the go-to. But here we are.
Yeah, there's something about the Hitchhiker that I play differently, and I have a really, really great Pantaray. Like, it is one of the best fusion rifle rolls I have. But I find myself trying to react with it and try to force close engagements. So by the time I get a charge off, they're punching me. Whereas this Hitchhiker is so just heavy hitting, and it's got hidden hand and hot swap on it. So it's real sticky, and it's just going to it's like a really heavy gun that's about to aim where it wants to aim, and I just hold the trigger down until it blows up in my hand. But I don't know. I play differently, and I'm much better at predicting and keeping myself at the right distances. Whereas I don't get those. I try to use Panteray, and I try to charge as I'm landing and get those aggressive plays, and I end up just getting myself killed. But either way, they are definitely in a good zone to be using right now, with everyone else sort of still figuring out where they're supposed to be in terms of role as a special weapon.
Either of you used a shotgun to any extent this past few days?
I have.
There has been some changes to that.
Trying, yeah. So the in-air accuracy has gone through that we mentioned recently.
Yeah, we talked about it last week how it wasn't actually changed. They said they were going to change it, and then they didn't.
Yeah, so now that's there, and I don't know. Shotguns do the thing. I just have to get my aim back. I have to kind of relearn them, and I just feel like mixing it up at this point. Really at this point, I don't feel like shotgunning as much as I did. I do miss the stickiness, and I would have loved to see this special ammo change without drastic change to shotguns. And it's also because it's kind of just what I convinced myself would happen back when they said that thing. I don't know whether it was at Christmas, and they're like, we don't want to nerf them a lot. We want to see what we can do to the environment. And I was like, great. So just had this special change. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It feels weird. I end up sliding and just kind of shooting past them. And I'm like, I would have been better off not making an aggressive play. And every time I get shotgun ammo, I'm trying to force it, and I'm getting killed by stronger primaries and hand cannons and stuff. So I just got to relearn it.
Yeah, I gave it a shot, pulled out my trusty Matador. I've been playing with the curtain call roll I got. I certainly agree with you that shotgun aim is a thing that you kind of have to keep alive. I don't know. I didn't really notice the in-air changes. Granted, I'm playing mostly on a hunter with Bones of Yao, so maybe a little different than if you're sort of a more fluid Titan skater or warlock. But I guess it just didn't feel inconsistent. I do feel like I noticed the change to critical pellets. That definitely seems to drop my one-hit kill percentage a bit.
Yeah.
I think in this situation, what I'd recommend is for shotguns is what I've heard the best players say about them, which is don't rely on your shotgun as a one-hit kill guarantee. Even if you've got that perfect max range Matador, get a primary shot off first. One hand cannon shot before pulling out your shotgun is equivalent to a huge range boost just because you have to do so much less damage. I think shotguns defensively, so when you're being pushed and you're on the ground and they're coming through a choke and you've got an advantage, are untouchable. Fusions just can't compete there. And when you've got team shotting to help you out, they're absolutely effective. But just, I think the days of the solo skating shotgun airborne warrior, it's not going away, but I think I certainly am seeing less of it. And I guess I kind of miss it because I certainly enjoyed it when it was happening. But they have a lot of roles, just not that one so much anymore.
Yeah, like Bone said, I probably would have liked to have seen it with just the special ammo changes first, because I do like how just having in general a less amount of special ammo kills is playing out. Mm-hmm. It was tough to accept at first, obviously, but it's gotten much better with automatic reloading and just the special ammo coming every minute, and mostly playing in sixes. That it's been great playing in sixes so far.
I will say that the combination of auto load and the condensed playlists has resulted in still a few dumb games where I'm like, oh wait, I know why we're down by 4,000 points. It's because we're playing 5v6. But whatever. I'm only there to really farm breakers and stuff. So who cares if we win? But that and the condensed playlist and auto load and just a good variety of special weapons and not sidearms everywhere has just overall made Crucible something I can go back and just grind without just kind of getting frustrated. Because previously it was like, I want to play Crucible, but I really hope that there's 7 other people interested in playing tonight because I want to set up private matches and I don't want to deal with matchmaking. I've spent a lot of time in the last week just kind of grinding out Clash because I like those bounties. And I I got a Revelator with a God roll from the hand cannon bounty. That was upsetting.
Congratulations.
Ooh, rangefinder, hidden hand, rifled barrel on a Revelator. But yeah, it's nice to just kind of zone out and play Crucible again like the old days.
Yep.
Any of you guys picked up that Scories roll?
I was gonna, and then I realized the
It's like
change.
what, like 103% or something?
I'm like, I'm never gonna use Scories. I didn't then, and I'm not going to all of a sudden after it got nerfed a little.
Yeah, it never really changed for me. And
I need those maximum slides.
And the cost of having to go into the Plague Lands, do those things. I think I'm good right now.
Look, I'll grind for some good raid gear and stuff like that, but I've got a limit.
There's a limited PvE I got here.
Yeah.
And it is definitely not in the Plague Lands. Sorry, Dan.
All right. Well, what about the vendor rolls changing every week? Like, I've not felt a need to grind out so many marks and to do it on a weekly basis. Like, I think they've got me on the hook. We got some good stuff this week.
You can get like 500 marks per week now.
Well,
it is
true.
something ridiculous. But I picked up the Palindrome, obviously, but I have not picked up the other ones, the Party Favor, the Parthian Shot. If you're listening right now, those are good rolls. Spend your marks before they go away.
Download this on the first day.
Yeah, if you're listening on Monday, go get those.
Or follow us on Twitter. We post them there a lot sooner.
Yeah.
We actually have a recommendation from the playbook by a fellow by the name of I Have Toes, a longtime listener. He recommends this week's vendor's Chaotic Neutral Machine Gun. The roll on it gives you Field Choke, which is going to get you down to a 4 body shot kill and range boost, and then Perfect Balance, Counterbalance, and Take a Knee. And this is not fun to play against, but a crouch walking, machine gun wielding person after heavy, you're basically unstoppable. You're just not missing shots unless your aim is off. Definitely one to pick up if you find yourself in need of a good machine gun.
I grabbed the Party Favor. That's the pulse rifle from the Crucible. It's got the scope that I always rant and rave about, the MD Reflex, and it's also got Eye of the Storm, Perfect Balance, and Rangefinder. Just really solid if you like a different scope than the Suros hollow points on your Hawksaw. It's really tough to pull away from a Hawksaw, especially after using it for so long, but it's a nice little change of pace, and I like the extra range I can get out of it and just get those silly cleanup shots. That's the gun I put on when I take my hand cannon off and it's Bannerfall.
All right, guys. Well, who knows what next week will bring?
Yes.
More stuff. Fall of Glass.
Yep. Another raid.
Another 11
roll.
hours of playing video games Tuesday.
Hey, pro tip, totally unrelated to PvP, but it's all about look and fly. If you have perfected ornaments that you get from Wrath of the Machine, you can turn 2 of those into 1 Age of Triumph ornament at Shiro. So if you're like, I got this sick Crota gear this week, but I don't know if I should put them all on that. If you have all these other ornaments, you can get more. I don't even know if that's in the patch notes, but that's really cool because I got some cool Crota stuff. So hot tip from Crucible Radio.
Look fly. That's it, guys. Follow us everywhere at Crucible Radio, Twitter. Join us on Patreon. Become a patron. Get some cool stuff. We've started some giveaways. We've got 2 lined up. One that you could see on our Patreon right away. We've got some inside details over there. Lots of cool things. So join us on Patreon, Crucible Radio. Everything you can probably find on Twitter at Crucible Radio. We're pretty consistent there. But
Get some Control Freaks. Offer code Crucible.
Control Freaks. And oh man, we got some cool stuff coming up. So follow us on Twitter. That's probably the best place to do it.
Twitter's great. Twitter's fun.
Yes. Well, I think that's it till next week, guys. Let's hope
Till
for
next week.
some more hype.
See you next week.
Can I get some hype in the chat?
Maybe.
Oh wait, there's our chat.
Hype. Oh, well, no, we do this live. You didn't know we do this live?
We do it live
Just
to
a blank Twitch screen.
to
with the hype chat next
audience.
door.
Dude,
of no one.
we are nearing our 100th episode and no one has turned into the live stream ever.
Kind of hurting our feelings.
It's
a
really
little bit.
weird. We've just sort of ignored it thinking like, maybe that comes later. But at this point, it's like, guys, what the hell?
Please join us. Love you.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Someone's out there
Yeah,
like, what?
someone-
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Someone's put their headphones down. Oh crap! And, like ran out the room. and didn't listen to the part where we're kidding. April Fools. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Damn
nice.
it.
We got him.
Oh, good save.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Music this week from Fides, Fides, Fides. Check them out. It's fidesmusic.bandcamp.com. If you're a musician, we want to play you on the show. It's that simple. Send us an email with some of your music at crucibleradio@gmail.com. And if you would like your gameplay to be featured in the video version of our podcast on YouTube, then send your best game, unedited, no montages, just start to finish, upload it to YouTube, send us the link. It's crucibleradioclips@gmail.com.